Hey, you geeks. If you've been following the Duskbloods, you probably know the basic pitch. It's a multiplayer game by From Software and will be exclusively for the Nintendo Switch 2. Well, I was supposed to be playing the Duskbloods today, but yeah, that didn't happen. The first network test session got shut down because of server problems, so instead of actually getting to play it, I ended up doing the next best thing. I started reading through the official manual. And honestly, I'm really glad I did because I went into this thinking I had a pretty good idea of what the Duskbloods was. It seemed simple enough. 8 players, everybody fights, last person standing wins. After going through this thing, I understood that's not really what this game is at all. The biggest thing I didn't realize is that a Dusk Battle is broken into 4 phases, so you're not just dropped into a map with 7 other people and told to kill everybody. You're actually building towards something. You get to explore and fight enemies while you get stronger and collect different items that will help you position yourself for the win. It seems to be reminiscent of Night Rain in a lot of ways, but only on a very foundational level. In the Duskbloods, you're trying to build up something called virtue, and that actually matters because as the match goes on, players with low virtue can be eliminated through something called the culling. So you could technically survive the combat and still lose because you didn't do enough during the match. I really like that idea because it won't simply be about whether you can beat other players or not. It's really more focused on whether you are playing the match correctly, like strategically enough. That appeals to me quite a bit. So I started looking at how you actually get virtue, and there's not just one way. You can earn it by defeating other Bloodsworn at ritual sites, claiming blood pledge pillars, or killing powerful enemies. There are also other items you can gain and other objectives that you can complete throughout the game. Then there's something called Flame Virtue, which apparently involves lighting flames in the skulls of corpses sitting in chairs. I don't even know what to say about that one, but that's the kind of thing where I start thinking, this is cool. You're not necessarily going into every match with the same plan. You might be looking for players, hunting monsters, going after an objective, or just trying to get enough virtue to survive the next phase. That's something I can't wait to see for myself because reading about it's one thing, seeing actual players make those decisions in real time is going to be completely different. When I got to the alliance system, this was probably one of the things that surprised me the most. You can actually team up with other players. So you could form an alliance, and then while you're allied, you can't damage each other, and certain virtue is shared. But that doesn't necessarily mean you're friends for the entire match, because you could potentially spend part of a match working with somebody and then eventually decide that you don't need them anymore. Pretty cutthroat. I really want to see how players actually use that, because on paper, that's one thing. That means you'll have people making decisions about who they trust, who they want to fight, who they might need to work with. That's where I think this could get really crazy. It's not even just about PvP. There are these powerful enemies called Trespassers, and players can actually join together to fight them. So you could be competing against somebody 1 minute and a greater baddie shows up, and then suddenly you're fighting alongside each other because dealing with that threat is the more important problem. Then the fight's over and you're back to being competitors again. I don't know how this is actually going to play out, but I really want to see it for myself. Then there are kin, which are basically companions that can fight alongside you. Apparently some enemies can even become spellbound after you stagger them and drink their blood, allowing them to fight with you. So now you've got 8 players, companions, enemies, huge PvE encounters, and all these different objectives happening in the same match. I honestly have no idea how chaotic this is going to be, but it sounds pretty epic. The combat itself is also a lot more mobile than I initially expected. You've got sprinting, climbing, dodging, ranged weapons, and even up to 3 air jumps. There's the stagger system I mentioned, where you can drink an enemy's blood to damage them and restore your health. And apparently you can even howl to interrupt certain attacks and deal with ranged attacks. There are sigils, which give players their own objectives involving other players, and that's really where I stopped trying to figure out exactly how all this is going to work. Because the truth is, I haven't played it, and I don't want to pretend that reading the manual is the same thing as actually experiencing the game. It isn't. That's why I was so disappointed when the network test went down today, because now I actually have questions. How does Virtue feel in a real match? How useful are the kin really going to be? Will people actually cooperate? How quickly will alliances fall apart? Like, how chaotic are the Trespasser battles? How does all of this come together when 8 actual players are making completely different decisions? I don't know yet, but hopefully I will sometime soon. So yeah, I didn't get to play the Duskbloods today, and even if I had been able to, I wouldn't have been able to share anything anyway. And yeah, that kind of sucks. But after going through this manual, I'm actually more interested in the game than I was this morning. I thought I had a pretty good idea of what the Duskbloods was, but there's way more going on here than I could have anticipated. So what about you? What are some things you're really excited about with the Duskbloods? Now I know, as a Nintendo Switch 2 exclusive, there are a lot of people who have mixed opinions about it, but for those of you who are really willing and wanting to take the leap into this one, I'd love to know what you're looking forward to the most. I've got the full breakdown linked below. I'll be building out Duskbloods guides on the Gotta Get Geek website covering things like Dusk Battles, Virtues, Kin, Sigils, Combat, and everything else we can actually confirm. Hopefully in the near future, I'll be able to stop talking about what this game might be and actually start telling you what it is. If you enjoyed this video, please consider subscribing to Gotta Get Geek. Every comment, like, and new subscriber helps this channel grow and gives me more opportunities to keep making future videos around the Duskbloods. You can also follow me on social media at Gotta Get Geek and join our brand new Discord using the links in the description if you'd like to continue the conversation outside of YouTube. Until next time, I'll see you geeks in the next one.